as Pathfinder. So.
All right, we're joining on the hot seat again with this amazing dude. He came back for round 2 because, well, we got through basically mostly MSF stuff, and we need to get to a lot more stuff, which is some more juicy things to talk about. And I think we need to talk. We need to talk a little bit closer with, well, we did update the picture a little bit. So picture there. That's nice updated picture of TDatz, which is really, really interesting. To be fair, I thought that was somebody I knew in elementary school, and I was going to ask, but then I was like, no, she never moved. So, but it is very, very close to somebody I knew.
Originally. My wife's from the region originally, so.
She'd have to be from the south side of Chicago.
No.
That's where she'd have. Yeah, see, that's where she'd have to be. But, dude, no. Beautiful family. You got. Wow. Wow. Just.
In all fairness, that is not a recent photo. That was like, I think, May something. Unfortunately, you all saw me last 2 weeks ago in my sweaty goodness with all that good stuff. But I unfortunately did have to shave the beard, so I'm on like about day 10 of regrowing my beard at this point. So
is it going good?
Well, yeah. I mean, maybe if you guys are nice, I'll pop on video here in a little bit.
Right at the end. You gotta wait to the end to get the secret going with it.
Well, I need you guys to watch this entire video. Yep. I need you to like and subscribe to Zero Cool Gamer. I need you to get on YouTube and Twitch and, subscribe, guys. I mean, he's a good guy, throw him a bone. You know what I mean?
Yes. He does have 4 kids. I'm pretty sure that it's a pretty good juggle between him and the missus, them having fun. But hey, that is all around the same age too. Like, what's the years apart?
My oldest will be 7 in November, and my youngest just turned 2 in May.
Okay, it's good enough. I mean, you got 2 and 2. That's good.
Man, and I'm done. And I'm not having
that's
kids.
pretty much it. Yeah.
I'm glad I have 4. I'm gonna have no more. It's a beautiful thing, and a lot of people don't get the symmetry. A lot of people, have a lot of trouble, even having kids and stuff like that. And so, my wife and I were very blessed. So, I wouldn't change it. I wouldn't do anything different. Is it crazy sometimes? Yeah, of course it is. I mean, I got 4 kids, and my wife and I both work full time, but. We still find a way to make it work. You just got to try and work together and make a plan. And, like I said, I planned that I'd be able to come hang out with you guys tonight. And I told my wife about it a couple days ago, and I reminded her again today and told her again after we got home and before we were doing our final stuff today. I was actually at Meet the Teacher earlier this evening. So I have girl, boy. My second daughter is starting K4. The same teacher that my oldest had, so it was kind of a little bit of a deja vu thing, because I remember how nervous we were for the first time, and no, it's the exact same teacher from a couple of years ago. My son went through, and now my daughter's going through, and my second daughter's going through, and I don't know, but just with experience, you gain confidence, and I think that's one of the big things that. Life will provide you the opportunity to have experiences, and I hope everybody learns from their experiences and grows from their experiences and learns from their mistakes,
Well, I hope you grow that beard back.
Oh, I already am.
Quicker than normal, because the video you showed me where it was like, oh, and then you're like, I'm shaving it off, and then I was like, wow, that's a total different person. Totally different person.
Most of my adult life, I didn't even have a beard, just because I have such a young face. So that, when people see me, they assume that I'm, 5, 8, 10 years younger than I am, which of course is, I'm not complaining. Don't get me wrong, but I don't know. Just part of the reason, with my mental shift is, growing from a young adult to more of a middle-aged adult, and growing up, going up in the ranks, so to speak, and having more responsibility, it kind of, that's kind of where my head was at, moving in that direction. So.
Okay, now the first part we need to start off with is Grimace and how it came about and all the stuff that we don't know that was behind it. Like, how that whole thing come about? Because I don't know how it started, but I know, like, you were interjecting it everywhere and everybody was picking up on it, and then it just went poof. Like, Grimace was just everywhere.
Well, this is just funny how you don't realize how, things can happen that life's what happens when you're making plans, right? Like, like, okay, we're going to do something funny. We're going to get the Grimm's costume. It'll be great. He gets it. It's great. But nobody could have really predicted this other kind of backlash, kind of social media, marketing thing that happened with the purple Grimace thing, and all the all that stuff in the media about it, and people going back and forth, and just for that to all happen at the exact same time while Run was also doing his fundraiser, which I think put a lot more eyes on it than otherwise would. And then, of course, all this happens, in the short, and of course for your birthday stream as well, which was the day before. So we just had like these three different things like within a week that, and then before that, the whole idea from its conception to its, happening, I need to double check the math. It is either literally 2 weeks or it's literally like 3 weeks or in a couple days that we went from, brainstorming to, making this thing happen. So let's rewind a little bit. So we all know Purple Sticky. Again, if you don't like to subscribe, I think you should, because Purple's amazing, and I love the train wreck that is his stream, and I think we're all there for a good time. I'm not really sure, because, Purple started off, as a relatively straightforward, all, blue collar, more, I should say more white collar streamer, that he was trying to be a little bit more, I think more professional, I guess, and not try and, be too like down and like making like crude jokes or adult jokes or however you want to put it. And it just like one day, I don't even think I was there for the stream, like, because I know I wasn't, because I would have remembered this. He shares this video of Grimace, with, if you haven't seen it, it's sung to the tune of His Kiss from Faith Hill, should I, whatever. And I didn't even realize that till afterwards, too. It took a couple times, like, oh, it's to his kiss. Oh, I get it. Okay, anyways. And the song is completely preposterous, and we all know that it is. I mean, it's obscene, it's vulgar, it talks about,
I mean, you hear, like, maybe a few lines of it, and you're like, the fuck am I listening to? And then you start really paying attention to it, and you go, wow, oh, okay, this is, yeah, okay, cool. And then it just picked up into like, dude, where's the Grimace song? Like,
it's meta. It's meta art, is what it is. It's ironic in and of itself. We all know it's preposterous that, of course, he doesn't have two phalluses, and like he would never engage in coitus and relations with people. But that's what the song portrays, and I think that's the whole point: is the absurdity of it. Like it's so hilarious because it's absurd, because it never would happen in 1,000 million years. So this thing obviously took off on its own, and I had been watching Purple for 9 months, a year at this point, and of course was a big fan, loved watching Cosmic Crucible, and of course things kind of took a different direction. If anybody's been in streams knows that it's a train wreck every day, and it's not his fault, but it's mostly chat's fault, but it's a train wreck. It's we're crazy things going on, people saying crazy things in chat, and again, it's just part of the absurd meta nature of what his stream is about, or has evolved to be. So anyways, so of course he gets the purple Grimace, emote, and of course that's something that I got a free subscription, and I started using it a whole bunch because it's hilarious. And I don't know if you guys, I'm a moderator for several of different streamers, including mobile gamers, so I kind of was this back channel, for lack of a better phrase, between Purple and Mobile Gamer about all the different stuff that happened after that. But anyways, So it just kind of came to the point where, you know, this Grimace thing kind of started taking off, and then he made the announcement about Grimace's birthday, and you know, at that point, things were going like pretty well with me, so I had, you know, a little bit more free time than I had anticipated, so I'm spending a little bit more time, and I think to myself one day as part of this Grimace thing, like, how hilarious would it be for Purple Sticky to be in a Grimace costume? Like, again, just part of the absurd nature of his chat and his stream, like, you know, that would be funny, right? And I just, in my mind's eye, like, I saw it, and there's something that I've always tried to pride myself on, is that, you know, when I see something, I know that it can exist. Like, I have this ability to try and manifest things into existence, and I just, you know, if I set my mind to something, I'm a dog with bone. I'm rather persistent. You know, I've also been known to be called a huge pain in people's asses before in my professional context, because of the way that I kind of do things, kind of in that same manner. So I say, like, just kind of off the cuff, hey, let's, you know, what if we were to get you a Grimace costume? And immediately, Purple is very, you know, pushing back. That's stupid. Don't waste your money. Don't waste your money. Don't waste your money. Okay, don't waste your money. Okay, that's fine. And of course, I immediately retort, well, what if we want to waste our money? You know, that's not your business. If we, you know, if we get you a Grimace costume, would you wear it? You know, would you take it? You know, if we got you a gift, would you take it? You know, and I think I even went to the point of asking, would you wear it and or dance in it or something like that, just to make sure that, like, you know, you don't just have to, like, buy it, like, sit in, like, you know, on the corner. Like, you do have to at least put it on, like, one time, I think.
Just put it on for so one day. I think,
yeah, it was like a Wednesday or Thursday stream, and Purple's nice enough that he accepted my friend request a long time ago. And, you know, he said, you know, he was really apprehensive in chat, but by the end he was like, okay, well, you know, if you guys want to buy it, no big deal. So I did message him, you know, privately, and I was like, hey, dude, like, I'm really serious about doing this Grimace thing. Like, I don't want to do it if, like, you're not okay with it, but, like, are you okay with me moving forwards? And he was like, yeah. So, of course, I was a dog with a bone, and I was a man on a mission, and I think, actually, I got Purple to make me a moderator on his Discord so that I could start making notifications. And so that was Thursday, or Friday, and then he had the stream. He does a stream on Mondays, so it was, like, either Tuesday or Wednesday. Tuesday was the first day. We raised, gosh, I can't remember, like, over 50% of our goal, like, somewhere between 50 to 75% of our goal. And then the next day, we absolutely smashed it, and we got through, you know, it was like 410 was the goal, and he said he would pay for shipping, and there was I think a delivery charge or something else or whatever. So anyways, within 2 days of, like, actively streaming and doing this stuff, we get it. And of course, everybody's calling it bogus. It's coming from Chun, China. So of course, we're all expecting this thing to take months, you know, weeks to get here. And within, you know, a matter of days, you know, Purple gets the notification that it's been shipped, and within a couple days after that, like, you know, it's in Alaska. I think we had.
Yeah, I saw the shipping thing. He's like, look, it's on its way, and we're like, oh shit, it's actually real. Oh shit, it's coming. It's fucking coming. I mean, to get the, don't get me wrong. When you want to rely on the community, you can, but then it's like, it wasn't that we knew the community wouldn't do it. It's just, it was very unexpected for this particular one, but it was like, wow, the community came through and was like, fuck it, you're wearing that Grimace costume and we'll pay to see it. So, boom, Here you go. And
fact, I gave the first $20, actually.
I just said, fuck it, here, I'm going to do whatever let's just get this done. So he buys it, he gets it, and I mean, people are still, they're in chat, and we're like, yeah, we kind of believe it, maybe not, okay, oh, well, shit, there's the shipping. Yeah, he's not fucking around, it's coming, it'll be here. But yeah, you were right, everybody was going, all right, it'll get here, like, end of July, early August, maybe, because it'll get stuck somewhere, it's coming from Timbuktu, we're never gonna see this, and then boom, it comes right around at the end of June. I'm like, okay. I already asked him. I asked him before. I was like, okay, cool. So it'll be my birthday. I'll be on there. But he asked me before. He was like, well, if it comes in, do you want me to do anything with it? I was like, but I thought you were going to showcase it on runs. He's like, well, fuck it, it's good. It'll be here, whatever, whenever it gets here. If it gets here before you actually stream for that, then sure. But it should be here by that morning, if not earlier. But it did happen to come in earlier in the week, and I happen to be at work the day it comes in, and he's putting it on, and I'm going, wow, this is fucking hilarious. Like, how did you?
The unboxing is one of those moments that will just live in my like. It was just so hilarious, you know.
It was a treat to watch that, and then the fact that like when he opened it and he's like, oh my god, he's putting it there, and it's like, wow, okay, this thing is actually huge, heavy. It looks like it's got cotton all up in it. I'm going, this guy's gonna die as soon as he puts it on, because that looks hot. That looks really hot. But
again, I don't think the purpose ever was for him to wear it more than 5 minutes. So of course
yeah,
they did have the optional cooling fans and jets or something. There was 2 different cooling devices that I can't recall specifically. So
I remember seeing the one for $20. I was going like, I think it was $20, and he's just like, nah, I'm not gonna spend, because I'm not gonna. It won't be as extravagant of a costume or whatever when it comes in. And I'm going, I don't know, it looks like it'd be a little bit warm or whatever. And then when he unboxed it, I'm going, yeah, he's gonna die. That looks like it's gonna be a little bit warm. And
you know, that's what's just so cool about the internet, though, is that everybody chips in a little bit of money, and suddenly it's like, hey, you know, I lose $20, somebody lost 100, somebody lost a 50 here or there. Like, for the possibility of him to be able to wear that, I mean, again, and to live in Twitch Marvel Strike Force, you know, history, is quite frankly, as I'm concerned. I mean, we've all seen the fallout between the community manager Grimace and Whip and now Luna. It's just, I don't know when the Civil War is ever gonna end, man. I can't stand the infighting, man. Can't we all just get along?
It really took a very good life of its own at a really low point where Marvel Strike Force wasn't really doing what it needed to be done. Like, it was getting to that point to where, all right, if there's not too much to do in the game, blah blah, and then Grimace pops out of nowhere, and it did coincide with the whole Grimace's birthday, the whole Grimace meal and stuff, and then the TikTok part where Grimaces are basically, anybody getting a Grimace shake is just gonna basically die, was like, oh my god, this is working out just great. It fit in with it. It was a good laugh that everybody needed, and it's still a good laugh whenever he pops it out, which is nuts. And
well, of course it is, man.
I'm surprised his wife.
On, you know?
Yeah, oh, it's not going nowhere, but I'm surprised his wife didn't just go, it's you or Grimace, and I don't know. Sticky might put up a little front and be like, well, I don't know.
I think it's just really about, can you appreciate the absurdity of it? You know what I mean? Because again, I think his wife will come full circle. I mean, because again, you know, hopefully community manager Grimace doesn't ever make appearance, but I guarantee you that once, you know, Purple has some kids and his wife and their friends have more kids in their circle and they start hanging out, like, they're probably like, you know, he could probably make some money off that damn thing. He could probably
he could
that's and start charging, you know, $200 an hour to, you know, perform as Grimace, you know, and he's getting some good dance moves. You been watching?
I've seen it with it, and I've seen him try to put it. But then again, afterwards,
4-finger slide.
That he is working his way to, like, dude, he's basically just gonna. There's gonna be a string between here, Sticky, and we don't want to see you no more. How about you switch it over to Grimace's part, and hopefully you don't die while wearing it. But maybe you should buy that $20 fan, and give us Grimace for more than 5 minutes, because, to be fair, Sticky looks like he's gonna drop when he gets out of it from dancing so much too, because that thing is supremely warm. It looks like he's cooking inside there, and I'm afraid he's gonna come out redder than normal, and we're gonna be like, yeah, someone needs to call. But then again, I don't want it to happen, but it'd be funny as hell talking about it, going, well, how come he went to the hospital? Well, he was dressed up as Grimace. He passed out. Hopefully they don't mess up the Grimace costume, but the costume and the lore of it has taken over with a vengeance, and it's been hilarious ever since.
And I couldn't be any happier to be a part of all of this chaos and madness. So
I think the fact that you're a mod and that you were pushed it. I most mods don't really like to do. They'll just sit back, do whatever, blah 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 blah, and then just jump away and be like, okay, cool, I'm done. But you're like, I'm taking an active role in this. This looks like it could have potential to be something good, great, and it worked out perfectly fine, even with a little bit of pushback from Sticky. But then again, he's more like, well, I think if this question would have popped up a year ago when he was starting, he definitely would have been, yeah, I don't think I'm going to do that. But at this point in time, it's like, I could consider it a little bit. And
well, this is actually a good segue to being passionate about what you do. This was a passion project for me, so it felt like nothing, man. It felt like no effort, being really expended, and making a couple messages and pushing a couple buttons and asking people to chip in some money just to have the possibility to have this thing happen. Why not? I mean, again, I'm a big believer of why not. Some people ask why. I ask why not, guys. Why not challenge? Why not look for something more? Why not aspire for something more? Like, let's look beyond the horizon. Like let's do it together.
So, passion, putting your passion into something. What's one of the main things that you're putting your passion into now? Besides 4 kids.
Of course, my family is my primary focus, waking up, making sure everybody's got what they need and prepped for the day and ready to go and do their thing. My wife and I both work full time, so I take our youngest to a place closer to where I work at, and she takes our other 3, but she works from home 3 days a week, so we've got juggling schedules and juggling commitments. And of course I have court and out of city places where I have to go. I'm planning for something next Friday, and then the following, not that Monday but the Monday after, I'm in the northwest part of the state on Thursday, and then on Monday I'm in the northwest part of the state in the afternoon, and then on Tuesday I'm in the southeast part of the state in the afternoon as well. So at least I do have a little bit of a buffer to try and get from one to the other. But so, it's just about, prioritizing things, planning things as much as you can. Our life is a lot of, planned chaos. I mean, it is, you can't always control 4 kids and what they're doing and what they're going and what they're saying and if they're hitting each other, whether they're behaving or misbehaving or whatever the case may be. So you got to just try and, pick your battles, I talk a lot about this with my staff, about, picking your battles. Like, if you're going to spend a whole bunch of time for something that's not really going to solve any problems and isn't going to really do anything to move the bottom line, so to speak, like, pick your battles. You got to let it go. You could, check review a document, 1,000 times to make sure that there's, not one single typo, but is it better for you to spend 10 hours reviewing a document, or maybe 30 minutes so that you can, review a whole bunch more documents afterwards, Again, it's about give and take. It's about priorities, like where are you going to put your passions? So after my family, of course, I'm passionate about Marvel Strike Force. I mean, that's why I'm here, guys. Like, we're here because I love Marvel Strike Force. Like, I really am. Like, we might even have to do a 3-part here, but no, I have a whole big story about coming to Marvel Strike Force and the stuff that happened afterwards. But let's go move on to anything else. Let's make sure we're wrapped up here. Okay, so of course, I, at that time, my wife and I, we had 3 kids only at that point, and we were getting ready for COVID, which we obviously didn't realize was coming. So this was March 2020, and my wife started working from home, and then the next day was the 24th. I started working from home, and her and I both worked from home for 15 months. And, of course, everybody, you guys remember COVID, what we thought at the time and what was going on. It was just crazy. And I really needed some kind of, release, something to kind of, because of course I had a little bit more free time being at home and not really going anywhere. So I literally Googled Marvel and into Google Play, and this was the first thing that came up. And it was a whole transformation for me to start as like a unknown player with no real knowledge about how the game works, and to try and grow myself all the way up to, where I am now with, being a moderator for CCs, and of course the knowledge that I have right now, which still in comparison to people like yourself, Zero, is still pales in comparison, but I obviously know significantly a lot more than what I knew then. I've gone back and forth about whether I want to talk about this in a lot of detail, but I'll just say that, Marvel Strike Force changed my life for the good, and it gave me a sense of purpose when I kind of didn't have any, and gave me a sense of direction when I didn't have any. And I'll tell you a little bit about that. So I had originally gone to law school a long time ago, and I took the bar 2 times and I didn't pass it. And then my wife got pregnant with our first kid. And so I kind of just set that part of my life aside and was like, okay, well, I'll still keep doing law stuff. I was working as a paralegal, I'm still doing the same kind of work that I was doing previously, and trying to just, I switched firms. I was just trying to, continue to get knowledge and grow from where I was at. And so when COVID happened, they said that they were going to actually administer the bar exam, and that they were going to do it remotely. And so I kind of decided, hey, if I was ever going to try and take the bar exam, I might as well do it. And so, I kind of skipped the really important part, which is that, I started as, a newbie player. I didn't even realize, the concept of joining, an organized, alliance with, membership and all these different things. And so when I was about 2 million TCP, after grinding for a really long time in complete obscurity with no idea what I was doing whatsoever, I joined, an alliance that had just lost a whole bunch of people because they had kind of, a whole bunch of people left to be in a more competitive alliance. So they were 14 members with a whole bunch of people with a whole bunch of TCP, a lot bigger than mine, that they were sure, come on in. And, this was in the way, I've been playing for almost 1,200 days at this point. So this was, about a year after I'd started, roughly. This is my timeline, roughly. So join this alliance. Our alliance leader's great. He's very attentive. He's, actually at one point wants to have another, smaller alliance join us and kind of be our sister alliance to kind of mentor, but, life got in the way, and he was unable to really kind of, contribute to a leadership role. And it was right around this time that I kind of was wanting to take a leadership role and kind of be more assertive in my life. And it took the form of, being a Marvel Strike Force captain. And I kind of put this, man on my shoulders, and I did it all. I did raids. I was the war captain. I was recruit. And I was in, morale and outreach and engagement. And again, to recruit for an organic small alliance, a year and a half ago wasn't so bad. But as obviously as we know, in the progression of Marvel Strike Force, it became significantly more difficult to try and just keep 24 members in an alliance, let alone for days or weeks or months on end, just because inevitably somebody's going to retire, And
no, I did it for 2 weeks, but this was back when the game was significantly smaller, and I think we only had 12 or 13 people in the alliance, and I was nowhere. I was maybe level 45 or something like that. And then once I figured they wanted you to do all this stuff, I'm just I didn't come here to do that, so no. But they kicked me out of the alliance, but I went to a different one, and they were a little bit more forgiving and helpful. But it was just wow, that's a lot of work to do for a few people, but you trying to do it for a full set, damn. And then you already
but to do it well. I mean, you know, to take, you know, the time to track dates and times and facts and figures and progress, and are all 24 people showing up? Are there people who are leeching? I mean, have people not logged in for 4 days and are likely going to fall off? I mean, it's just nothing but constant stress, you know? And, you know, for me in the beginning, I absolutely loved it. I loved the challenge. You know, it felt like I was engaged. Like I felt like it was something I'd never done before, was trying to do something new. So again, going back to like being a passion project, like I still really enjoyed it for a long time. And if in some alternate universe, if there's maybe even like just one other me who kind of like felt that same way, like I probably would have been totally fine with where I was with that alliance. But, you know, more than anything else, as we all know, the game has progressed significantly and it's gotten significantly more difficult. And of course, you know, hopefully things are back on an upward swing again. But I mean, I don't have to tell you all about Gambit raids. I mean, you know, if you were playing, you know how much of a huge pain in the ass that was to try and coordinate all these different things offline and take screenshots and make it horizontal.
That
And,
was...
you know, I was emailing an alliance mate from the UK. You know, I had to have him send me his email address in game so he could send me his stuff, you know, and he actually ended up retiring very shortly after that because, again, it's just too much. It's just too much for casual people. Yeah. And that's been the huge problem, is that there's been this casual issue that, you know, you've got no problem keeping the diehards and sweaties. I think every single one of you people who are here watching this video are probably diehard and sweaty. You wouldn't care enough to be watching YouTube videos about this stuff. You know what I mean? And I think that was been a big part of the problem of the game that we saw, of course, unfold with, you know, Tadano-Mac. You know, that was a year later that Tadano-Mac is finally, you know, all the exact same things that we've been talking about for months and years and years and years. It's the exact same. I mean, you know, the guy that says, you know, F you guys, I'm out. I mean, he was saying the exact same thing. Like, it's just not fun. It's just not okay for a casual player to play this game. And, you know, that's what I hate, is that because, of course, you know, if we lose all the casual players and it becomes all about money, then of course, again, there's going to be, you know, there's going to be an expiration date, I think, at some point eventually, where people are just going to not bother,
something will come about it. But I mean, I think those terms that come up about it are like, it's casual. It's casual for that because we've said that inside the game, and nobody from Strikeforce has gone, you know what, let's take that and use it, so that way
see if that'll put some
it can be used in a more efficient sense. Like, if they had an option on there where the Alliance would say either hardcore, casual, or another term somewhere in between or something like that, to where people know going in, hey, this is a casual Alliance, we're not doing none of that. Or this is a hardcore alliance, you better be up on war, you better be up on raids, you better be building your roster for this. That way at least they give some communication out there, and it would be great if they did, but another
the recruiting landscape is completely different now than when I was a captain, because I haven't been a captain, you know, I joined, I think, at the beginning of the year. So I haven't been I was a captain for our 3rd tier alliance, and then I jumped to the 1st tier, so I was a captain for a little bit, but I haven't been a captain since like February. And of course the recruitment world is completely different with what they've done with MSFGG and that stuff, so I know that they've made progress in that respect. More of what I'm talking about is that casual players don't want to play this game because it's too much work. They have to log into CC 3 times a day. For you or I, like you, who want the game to play, like, that makes sense. I'm talking about the people who don't want to have to log in 5 times a day, who maybe just log in once a day if they do it all, and even when they do their attacks, they put all auto on. Guys, there are people that play all auto. Do you know that? There are people that don't care enough about this game that they literally play full auto and they don't care.
Damn. I mean, I'm not... Like I said, I'm not a casual player, or the ones that just don't give a shit. But I mean, there's a lot that you don't need to do. You don't need to do it. It's if you want to. And we see it as, okay, so I see that milestones, or I see whatever I got to do for the events, I want to do it. They don't have to. They're choosing to say that they do not. But there's nothing required about this game if you're... I see it as you shouldn't put a requirement on yourself unless you've actually spent some money on it. If you're playing this supremely casually, free to play, way back when I was more, once I started this, it was like I gotta beat it because I want to see if I can beat it. That's how my mentality was. I see this challenge, I want to overcome it. Some others are just like, well, this is a cool Marvel game, yay. Oh, it's taking me forever to build up Thor. Screw it, I'm out. And I've seen that with some Alliance members where they're like, I'm not getting enough of what I should, and I'm just like, well, this sucks saying it, but I was like, well, if you blitz a little bit more, you probably would do it. You really don't blitz at all. But this was back when manual blitzing was the only thing to do. You had to do it if you wanted to do it. And that probably did bum rush some people once it got to like the 20 to 25th team, and you're like, yeah, I'm not doing this anymore. This isn't my life. I don't want to do that. And I can understand some frustrations from captains and alliance leaders of going, well, shit, people are leaving because this is now becoming cumbersome. Too cumbersome. It's not a game anymore. It's a lifestyle. Damn, Marvel Strike Force is a lifestyle? Shit.
No, I agree. And, just to see that, like, on a first-hand basis, and, of course, I'm still, in a pretty high-tier squad now, running, we were almost at 1.4, but we're still running 1.3. And, sometimes people just want to, they just leave, like, it doesn't happen often, but still, even at that level, sometimes people just decide they want to leave, and it just that frustration of, a lot of people who've been there for a long time, and, people feel invested in things, but of course you can't control what 20 other 3 people are going to do. And that's ultimately, what prompted me to leave my small alliance and then to try and, join a more competitive, alliance and, be able to try and do my thing. And, it was really sad because I really tried to, get some people on board to try and, get back into recruiting or get some people to step up to captain. But, again, if there isn't somebody at that post in a small, alliance, it's going to eventually, have enough people to, have raid keys and to do all this stuff because people want to play and they want to compete. Once you're at that level, we're talking about serious casual, but again, people are still want to play, and if you literally can't even play because your alliance can't, generate enough raid keys because you don't have enough people, well, again, that's what's happened. And again, I think this is part of the whole Walmart model being applied to Marvel Strike Force, and that, the big, organized alliances who have the ability to take in and manage recruits and send them to places and replace people who retire are going to have a huge advantage over people who have to go out and actively find people, because again, these big clusters, people come to them. I'm still a recruiter, so I kind of still do like initial intake and greeting just as kind of like a part of my captain routes, but even then I'm under no obligation to do so because I'm not a captain, so if I miss it, like, it's not like it's a big deal. And most of the time all the other people who are there are captains who are probably trying to find somebody to replace somebody, so I'm good. Like, my whole game perspective is completely changed versus stress even when I'm not trying to play the game. What's going on with my alliance? Is there somebody I need to manage? Is there somebody I need to replace? Versus I just literally log in and play the game. I get a whole ton of rewards and I get a whole bunch of alliance milestones, and it's a completely different game experience versus what I had at the beginning of the year. So, that was where I was at. That's what I wanted from the game, was, again, something to be more competitive and to be able to, assert myself, for lack of a better phrase, more in a more strenuous way, I guess. But yeah, like, that's, I wanted to flex. I've worked a really long time to get where I'm at with my roster, and I'm finally at the point where I'm considering myself, competitive, and I love to compete, and I think we're all here because we all love to compete as well. Like, and again, that's what I think people don't, for somebody who can just tell me who's a Mystic Protector off the top of their head versus a city brawler, like, I commend you guys. To have that encyclopedic knowledge is nothing, I'm sure, but an asset for you. But last time I was able to do something like that was like Magic the Gathering, like in college or high school or something. And I'm sure if I tried, I could, but again, again, it's like, oh, well, of course he's gonna do that, and that's gonna happen with the ISO, and I'm like, oh gosh, guys, I'm still growing, like I'm still learning, and that's what's fun about this is that, I also do martial arts, and it's kind of that same concept of like continuous improvement, like trying to learn and trying to grow. And that's a big part of why I think a lot of you guys are probably still here as well, is that, there's still something new to do. There's still, new character to build, a new objective, a new campaign, a new scourge, or whatever. And, for you or I, we're excited. I've already got my 7-star rogue, but shoot, if I'm not going to try and get 1.5 on my leaderboard, why the hell not? You know what I mean?
I mean, I do it only because I know the significant amount of resources that it takes from G17 to G18, so I'm like, yeah, I'm gonna take whatever I can get, and it's not a lot that we're getting in the leaderboards, but I'm just gonna go ahead and take it anyway because it's gonna benefit me at some point. Somebody's gonna get built up so I can do it, but I mean, I don't have to. I'm just choosing to because I want to push a little bit further, but that's the nature for me. Plus, more than likely, I probably wouldn't do it if I wasn't streaming. Because that's just content we could put out there for something for a little bit, and that's it. Help out whoever we can, and go about our day. But if I was just doing this off the cuff, I probably would do maybe one little run, and if I didn't get it, I'd be like, yeah, I don't got time for this. I got other stuff to do.
Confession time, Zero.
Go ahead.
How many times have you done DD5?
DD5? Oh. Shit, I don't even know. Well, let me see. Let me see how many things it is telling me I did. I've done it... Oh shit, I've only done it twice.
That's what I'm saying.
I've only done it twice. I didn't find any value in doing it for the border part. I didn't see it. If they would put actual stuff in there, like you could get people to play this over and over again if you put stuff in there that is useful for character improvement. You put like 10, 20, gold orbs in there, 10, 20, some mats, and maybe a bunch of maybe uniques out of it or something, or even the orb, the orbs for certain uniques. People will play that sucker over and over again. They'll keep doing it, but I don't know why they don't.
You've offended my sensibilities.
I mean, I'm just trying to see it as something useful. Yeah, gigabytes, 15 times is a lot, man. I'm not, no. I don't know why you did, yeah, no. I'm, like, DD4...
I'm on my 11th run.
No, I did DD4 and DD5, and I put them on auto so I could see what some of the characters could do back when, those levels were kind of like right around there before DD5, before I even finished DD5, because I'm like, all right, these new characters are coming out. If I could beat the DD4 ones, I can use these to jump in DD5 and knock them out. And then there's no point now because they've gotten power crept. So, bye. I'm not doing it again. But every now and then I look at it and go, I might be able to do that time run faster than 30 minutes. Let me try it. It's not like I'm doing anything right now. But
there's no way you beat DD5 in 30 minutes. Get the fuck
out
no.
I was talking about 4.
Come on.
I was talking about 4. 5? No. No.
Well, that's what was kind of my point. They're sweaty people like me who like to play, DD5 until they get their rings, So I just finished 11 actually yesterday afternoon, I think. So
yeah, that's yeah, no. You and Gigabytes can have a nice little, I don't know, cookout on it, like, yay, we both finished 16 times together or something. I don't know. I'm not even going near that number for it. The border is not worth the trouble. If the border came along with a bunch of stuff for it, then it might be worth the trouble. But this, no, it's not worth the trouble.
Phrasing, Zero. Phrasing. All right. What's the next question?
Well, I think we were trying to get away from everything in terms of Marvel Strike Force, and then we were asking about Grimace. We got you how you got into Strike Force and the captaining part, and then games besides Strike Force. Like, what's the big ones that you are interested in, that you're like, what are you so inclined to play? If Marvel Strike Force wasn't around and you're like, you know what, I'm doing this. I'm gonna download this, and hopefully my kids don't take my phone away and ruin my game. But what intrigues you in the gaming genre besides Strike Force?
Well, first of all, our conversation 2 weeks ago kind of prompted what we're going to talk about in a minute. Secondly, I wanted to apologize for not being able to do our interview last week. I was sick as a dog, but I'm feeling much, much better now. So I'm glad to be hanging with you. And thank you for having me. I don't think I said thank you for having me. It's a pleasure to be here on the hot seat. So thank you for having me, sir.
Dude, it's no big thing. It's just, hey, we said we were gonna do part 2 to get more of it. Last week, I believe I asked you what was going on, and even then, I believe I started to get sick on Thursday, and it really didn't hit till Saturday, and then I'm fine. But don't even sweat it. Hey, we said we're doing part 2. We got part 2. We're doing it.
Let's go.
Now, genre gaming. What's up with that? Where's your head at with it?
I actually decided to go ahead and break down and buy a Nintendo Switch for my kids because my youngest is turning, or my third is turning 4 on Monday. And so I got a Nintendo Switch and I got Mario Kart 8.
Ooh. See, now, Mario Kart's a very interesting game when they're too young to understand the competitive nature that it could be. And then the moment they know, they realize of how competitive it can be, then they find a way to destroy you. And you're just like...
I know what I've done. That's why I've waited as long as I have to get there. Trust me.
But I mean, it's a, to be honest, I did see how to drive. Like, okay, this is how you're supposed to drive. And like back then, it was just like, okay, we had Mario Kart, just regular Mario Kart, and it was like the graphics were shit, but you knew, okay, cool, I shouldn't go over the lines next to the road. And in real life, if you fall off of Rainbow Road, you dead. So try not to go near the edges. So I learned a little bit from driving from that, and every now and then, I really did wish I had a red shell so I can knock that guy out in front of me, because he needs to go.
Sure. I mean, it's about the hand-eye coordination. It's about the cognitive ability. I mean, there's no doubt that video games and what kids can process is far beyond the limitations we put on kids. I think to learn things are things that we put on them. Because you could probably give a 6 or 7-year-old a soldering iron and they probably hurt themselves a couple times, but I'm sure they'll probably figure it out eventually. You know what I mean? Like, I let my 2-year-old very, very rarely, let my have my tablet and just kind of watch, Disney and Netflix and YouTube, and just, when I have like other stuff going on and I need like, a little bit of time to try and, do adult things and I need to focus, but man, it still just amazes me how he has the ability just to infiltrate these programs and figure out settings that I didn't even know I had, and trigger things that I didn't even know were things in my, I had to, reset my whole tablet because he somehow uninstalled Play Store. And so without Play Store, I couldn't update anything. And so I had to reset my whole fucking tablet. Like, kids are smart, Don't ever underestimate children. As a father of 4, don't underestimate children. I will say that for sure.
No, they learn technology very, very well, and they're very, but it's also the best time to teach them because they pick up on it and then they learn it, and then boom, they're really, really good at it. And they tend to, it's been well documented that kids learn at a faster rate from like boom from 6 months to about 5, and they can pick up a lot of stuff. And once you get them hooked into that, they pretty much know kind of where they want to go, and you can kind of see where they're heading. Because, I mean, you give them a phone, and within like 5 minutes, they're on YouTube, they're scrolling, they're putting all kinds of stuff all over the place, and it's just like, I literally turned my head. What the hell did you just do? Like, why are you doing it? Okay, well, shit. Now I gotta actually pay attention to you now. Damn, okay. But my nieces and nephews, they figured it out pretty goddamn quick. However, if you give them a cassette tape inside of a case, it boggles them for a little bit. Because they have no idea what the fuck they're doing to get it open. And then, hopefully, they didn't fuck up the actual tape itself and then put it back together. I really like showing my daughter when she gets older, ancient technology, and she's just like, the fuck am I doing? How do I do this?
A better example would have been the Discman, but the really sensitive Discman that you have to hold it like with your fingers pursed and like in a tight position, because God forbid there's even the slightest vibration to your Discman, because you will have that inevitable, you know, like 4 or 5 times. But yeah, sorry.
Yeah, no, but I mean, for me, I found one that's comfortable with. She understands it. We're good. Our daughter, however, she did call me yesterday when she bought a cassette tape, and it came in the box, and she's like, I have no idea how to open it. And I'm like, what are you talking about? Just open the case. And she couldn't find it. She couldn't find the little tab to be like, click. And I'm like, you got nails. If I could do it with no nails, you can do it with nails. And she could not figure it out for a good minute. And then once she did open it, like, every light lit up in her head and was like, wow, how did you, this took me that long. And I was like, it took us no time, because we had stacks of these things in our room of cassette tapes of stuff that we enjoyed and loved, and we had to record. You get the luxury of just downloading it and calling it a day. We actually had to sit there and press record, and hopefully they didn't talk during the song. But that was older technology. That was pretty interesting. There have been
wait, another time, man.
Wait, there have been studies that Zoomers and Alpha Gen are worse outside of their phones. I think it's the fact that the generation now, they're very, they need new input right away. Like they're very impatient. They need to have something new. They can't hold on to one thing for so long. So ADHD is literally just off the fucking charts, because they can't focus on one thing. They're like, oh, here's this, cool, okay, great, where's the next one, where's the next one, where's the next one? They just can't focus on one thing for like a good hour and be comfortable with it, which I'm fine with just looking at one thing, and I'm great. But kids, fucking kids.
Oh, kids.
Okay,
all right,
so
let's think about this. We talked about Grimace. We talked about my journey. I was going to talk a little bit about being a moderator, but there's really not a whole lot to talk about. I mean, it's just, if you've never been a moderator before, there's a separate view for you to be able to see things that chat can't see, and includes people who have, either been banned, or have been asked to be unbanned, or there are things who are waiting for pending approval because it's not a permitted term that got caught in a filter. Most of the time, it's just kind of dealing with children. I mean, people who don't know how to play nice and get along. I know Zero knows about that.
Yep. There's certain there's only look. I don't block anybody. There's no reason to, but there's only one fucker that's been blocked in my stream because of the idiotic nature of his dumbness. So, and we don't need to speak that guy's name, but he could take his talk ass somewhere else, because we don't deal with bigotry and shit like that. We don't do that. Other than that, everybody's welcome here. Everybody's welcome to say whatever they got in their minds. As long as it ain't along those lines, we are perfectly fine, because there is enough off the wall shit that comes out of there's just too much sometimes, and it's just like, I just got to remember, like, I opened up the gates for this. So I gotta accept the consequences for this and the type of shit that people want to go ahead and use. So I'm perfectly fine with it. But
yeah,
modding can be difficult.
Yeah, it absolutely can, but you know, at the same time, modding has kind of been a little bit of my foot in the door for a lot of other, you know, content creators, and you know, learning about the community and the people who are out here obviously streaming and doing their thing, like yourself, Zero. Like, um, I the whole reason why I stumbled into Twitch and now I'm back onto YouTube with you, Zero, is because of a mobile gamer offer review, or that's how I originally kind of got into things, was trying to figure out like what was going on in the Marvel Strike Force universe. I just thought that was so cool about, like, you know, to me it felt like, you know, going on offer review was like, you know, the ESPN of what was going on with Marvel Strike Force that day. And you know, people have kind of taken that model and put it on their shoulders and have kind of just, you know, strengthened it so many times over, you know, to the point that, you know, now we have Run recapping everything that's already happened that day the next day, you know, like to see where we were, you know, 2 years ago versus where things are now on a content creation side has just been amazing to see. Like, people like yourself and, you know, all the other content creators who have kind of just started doing their thing, you know, within the last year or two, and you know, kind of just I'm just grateful that, you know, there's more content out there. It still feels like the community is growing. Like, people are still trying to, you know, participate even despite, you know, the challenges we've been through, and that of course makes me happy. You know, because again, I don't think anybody's here because they want the game to die. I mean, they want the game to succeed. You know, but at the same time, you know, it's an easy punching bag. Scopely is an easy punching bag most of the time, you know, because they put themselves up to that, you know. So, anyways, you know, I do still feel like we have turned a corner, even though the sale with Savvy has been completed. You know, I was very, very cynical that it was gonna, you know, actually continue to mean something. But, you know, I don't know. You can't really agree to a, you know, 9-12 month, you know, council commitment and not just like completely disregard them and think that, you know, again, I think it's finally kind of got through to them that people being upset is more of a problem than just managing the community as you go along. Because again, if there are problems or there are mistakes, okay, just admit it and just say that, and then it is what it is, and we'll just wait. But like, you know, people who are super sweaty and are super competitive and who want to try and, you know, min max, and you know, they can't even log in the game because it's not working, or they can't log into this, you know, campaign because there's a glitch, or, you know, they were playing Cosmic Crucible and the game got, you know, glitched out and they lost 400 points because the game, you know, froze. Like, you know, it takes all kinds of kinds, but of course, you know, it takes, obviously this is a big part of the community, is the people like yourself who take the time to make videos and promote this stuff, and hopefully try and draw in new people who want to, you know, play the game. Because again, if there aren't new people coming in to replace all the people who are retiring, I mean, this game is dying by default. Like, it has to be, right? I mean,
just
I don't want that, but
it.
you know,
It's happening. I
don't think nobody. Yeah, none of us wants the game to go, and you got to find new blood, which is usually the sponsored streams, and some of them do have some good. You know, you do see every now and then, you know, 1 or 2 new names, and you're like, oh, cool, that's somebody different. And then you see a few more, and you're like, oh, well, will we see them stick around for the long run? Hopefully we didn't scare them away because they saw something like a big purple grimace or somebody ripping off their husband's chest hair. We don't want to scare them away, but the game is really, really good. It's just, are they going to stay for the long term? And then we got to make sure that we can cater to, like, hey, you know what, being a free to play new player, you can do what you want to do, but it will take some time, like most games, unless you got the income that's disposable to say, fuck this, I'm jumping up right now because I can. And we've seen new whales out there where they'll come in and they'll be like 10-20 million and just wrecking nerds. So it's like, okay, that's a new Kraken. But then you look at some other people's rosters, you go, okay, that's a new free-to-play player. He's only got a certain amount of roster, you know, unlocked and built up. Hopefully he's got questions, but do they know that there's all this content and stuff out there? Which I think Strikeforce is just doing dismal at promotion.
Well, again, we have to think about where we were even 2 or 3 months ago. Like, you know, again, I got to give credit to MSFPV. Like, you know, If they were not operating the way that they were, things would not be the way that they are right now. Like I can guarantee that. Their sophistication, their ability to communicate, and polls and notification, and getting engagement from these guys have grown thousands and thousands of members on their Discord in weeks and months. I mean, like, it is truly a testament to, I think, kind of where the community is at, and trying to just make this thing fun and workable again, and just thank God, like, I've been complaining so much lately about like Cosmic Crucible again, like, oh my God, are we ready for MOE and 4 again? Okay, Tangled in 3, okay, or whatever, it just, like, let's, I'm just hopeful for the future. I hope everybody will give them the benefit of the doubt, like, let's give it another week. There's probably going to be a week in between before the new Crucible starts. So, we've got one more week of this bullshit and then, a week off. But
I don't think we're getting I don't think we're getting a week off.
Oh, I think we will.
I'll just leave it at that. So in terms of like, well, let's see. We got you through the game. We got you through the first part. We got you through that. Was there any other big topic that we missed from the last one?
No, well, I mean, the only thing I can really say is, starting from a very small organic alliance, and now I'm in the Brotherhood of the Storm, on Knights of Stormbreaker, like, to see the micro to macro is part of what I was talking about earlier, the Walmart model, that if you're an established quantity, there's so many other good clusters out there. If you don't want to join ours, there's so many other good ones that you could join. Just that, good leadership matters, people being engaged and active and responding to new recruits and responding to issues and nipping things in the bud. And, I think people don't really truly understand, a lot of the BS that, being a captain, has, a lot of back channeling. Well, I was upset because he said this, or, well, they said that, and I meant this. And, it's a lot of elementary school bullshit a lot of the time. And I don't miss that part of it at all, because people really do get caught up in their feelings, and, it is what it is. But so, just to see that part of it can be, it's not a fun part of alliance management, I guess I'll say.
I mean, doing anything with managing alliances can be difficult. There's 23 other heads you got to deal with, especially if you're not the one that's particularly running the alliance. You're, you're being delegated stuff because either you took it on or they asked you because they thought you wanted to, and you do it, and then you try to deal with everyone in the alliance, and there's always one motherfucker that you just want to go, we need to kick this fucker. I really want to. I just need somebody's, I just need that up top position to say, hey, he's got to go, because he's fucking around. But I've seen it in a couple alliances where they go, no, give him a week or so, and then for some apparent reason they turn their whole gears around, or they become even worse, and then finally, boom, they get kicked. But I understand the complexity that it could be with it, where you're going, shit, man, I probably should have never said yes to this. But now I'm a little bit too deep. But
what's even better is, like, having somebody like that you spent time recruiting, who agrees to join, and then who immediately ghosts you afterwards and literally won't respond. Like, I was a lot of my recruits I found on Facebook. Like, I found, like, Facebook, direct messaging people was the best way for me to find recruits. But of course, that was a long time ago when I was still doing it, like, on an active basis, But again, even then, it's like, cold calling, knocking door to door, trying to sell refrigerators. Like, you knock on 1,000 doors, like, most people are going to either not answer or tell you to screw off. You know what I mean? Like, nobody's going to want to buy a refrigerator from you, but hey, it's got to take you 100 doors to knock on to get that one person who just might do it, And that's what's so hard about recruiting on a small level, is that, sure, it's absolutely possible, but unless you have, all hands on deck, essentially recruiting all the time. I mean, I've made memes in the past, like, that's my motto, is that I'm always recruiting, because inevitably, even when you get everybody, I had one guy who he was an Excel worksheet master. This was around the same time he helped me plan the Gambit raids and figure out which teams have clubs and spades and da da da. And he was with our alliance for 8-10 months. And then one Sunday he just announced that he was just gonna leave, and decided he was gonna go to another alliance, and literally just bounce like that. And that had happened after I had had a 2-3 week binge where I had lost people. I was down to 22 and recruited hard and got all the way back up to 24, like literally like a day or two before he announced on Sunday that he was leaving, and immediately left the alliance. And I was so upset by that. I was just like, somebody who had been there for a long time, who I thought I kind of considered, a friend, like not just, like we privately message on Discord, and he, constantly, chatting in Discord and doing his thing. And he's just like, no, like, I'm just done. Like, I'm just moving on to another alliance because that's how I am. And he actually ended up quitting shortly thereafter, and it's just, you know, being on the captain side of this is nothing but disappointment and frustration, man. I mean, it really is. And guys, if you haven't hugged your captains, please go hug them and kiss them and send them a gift card and a massage, a massage spa thing or something, because they deserve it, guys.
See, saying that type of shit, then you say that to like Rich, and he expects like a happy ending after that. You can't. Yeah, see, pick and choose who you're gonna who you're gonna say your captains to, or something like that. Just give them a thumbs up, just a random thumbs up. I think that'll be fine. But then, yeah, pick who you're gonna say that to.
No, man. So, but again, so if you haven't, please give your captains a hug, because this stuff ain't easy, guys, and not a lot of people want to do it, and I learned a whole lot from doing it, and I'm glad that I did, because it helped kind of propel me professionally where I wanted to be and where I went. But I never even finished the story, so I knew I forgot something. All right, so decide that I'm gonna take the bar exam in the middle of COVID. And would you believe it? Stress, craziness, whatever, take the bar exam. I pass it. Okay. But I'm not done, because I also have to finish my writing requirement, and I also have to take a professional responsibility 100 choice, multiple choice exam, because my score had expired. So I had to do these other two things. So 1 step forward, 2 steps back, whatever, 2 steps forward, 1 step back, right? So I do that, and I was just too burnt out to try and get all that stuff done. So I decided to do this was September. So February, I decided I was going to take the responsibility exam, and then I was going to thereafter finish the writing requirement, which I finished in May. And then I graduated in May, and I passed the thing, and I got sworn in. And my son actually was born 1 day before. Oh, wait, hold on. My son was born 1 day before I got sworn in as an attorney. My fourth son, or my second son, my fourth child.
I was about to say your fourth son. You didn't let us in on it.
No.
You didn't let us in on who else, but hey, whatever. We'll keep it quiet.
No.
We're a tight knit community. We won't let you. But dude, that's amazing, man. It's nice that it happened in that order. That way, boom. It's a lot to celebrate around at the same time too.
Yeah, man. And my employer was semi-supportive of where I was at, but it wasn't something where, I had been a paralegal there for a long time, and kind of the writing was on the wall, like, hey, you probably need to go, and so we're going to let you be an attorney, but you should probably go. So I decided to leave of my own volition, and I found a job that I absolutely hated, but then from there I found a job that I absolutely loved. So it's been a whole 360 full spin, going through all these things. But I feel a lot better on the other side. And honestly, Marvel Strike Force and Twitch and all of you guys have been a part of this journey, whether you knew it or not. So,
I mean, it's the journey's been pretty long, because now it's been, wow, dude, when you really think about it, it's been close. Well, yeah, technically close about 3 years since COVID started, and there's been a lot of change with the game. There's a lot of change in people's lives, because there's a lot of people now remotely working from home instead of always going into the office, and you could work around, being at home, getting used to being at home, and then kind of going back, because a lot of people have gone back, or well, somewhat to an extent. Um, Now, for working from home, did it give you a lot more time with the kids that otherwise, if that never happened, if we never had COVID, you probably would have never saw, right?
Well, of course, man. I mean, my wife and I were both still trying to work from home while trying to manage having three kids, which was just crazy, And of course, on top of that, going to the grocery store with everybody decked out in, boots and gloves and, and you can't find toilet paper and you can't find wipes and you can't find disinfectant and, the lines are freaking 20, 30 people long. Like, it was crazy, man. Like, it was scary. Like, trying to protect my family and protect my wife. Like, regardless of how things turned out, I mean, of course, we didn't know anything at that point. We just knew that like the world had completely changed, and as somebody who grew up in the era of 9/11 and then the Iraq War and then the Depression and then and then now this, like, okay, like, all right, welcome to your mid 30s, your mid 20s, your mid 30s, Here you go. You dealt with the depression before. Here's a second one. Here you go. Good luck,
Yeah, good
world. I mean,
luck.
like,
Good luck, because, I mean, well, at least now, you said you're done. You got four beautiful kids, and hopefully there isn't a surprise, but that's all on you.
oh
As
no,
you.
we're done.
As
Four
you.
is good. We're good.
All right. Is there any other questions anybody wants to ask TDatz before I ask him a new round of rapid fire questions? So that way we can make fun of his ass the next time we see him with Sticky. Or wherever he's modding at. Because he's modding all over the goddamn place. But dude, I mean, COVID did open up a lot of avenues that we all did not really understand in terms of like, wow, I really wish we had some type of this type of option way back in the day, because it would have so helped with like at least some of the stress, taking care of kids, time management, seeing your kids even more, and still being productive to bring home, a paycheck. So
Have you ever considered being an insurance adjuster?
me,
Yes. Who else would I be
no,
talking to?
I don't know. Maybe you were
Insurance
talking about
adjusters
this.
have been doing
I had to
this
read.
for like 10, 15 years, as I've so learned. They've been doing it for
Yeah, I
10,
don't.
15 years before COVID.
Yeah, I don't. If it deals with numbers, maybe. But oh,
And insurance adjusting has a big overlap in what I do, which is case evaluation and defending on, plaintiff personal injury cases. So,
well, insurance itself, in and itself, is pretty much one of the most stable businesses because it's required for most things out there. But I could look into that. One Pride's got a question. Of all the streamers you mod with, who's the biggest diva?
who's the biggest diva? I mean, it's Taco. How can it not be Taco?
Taco is one fucked up.
I love
Oh,
Taco, but I mean,
Taco's
that's just
amazing.
objective fact. I mean, right? I mean, if you were to ask Taco that question, like, I guarantee you Taco would say the exact same thing. So, no, I have no shame in saying Taco.
I streamed. I just remember being in Tacos chat, and the next thing you know, I noticed that it was like you could see the mod view, and I'm like, when the fuck how did I become a mod here? Okay, whatever, cool, I'll run with it, and I'll go with it every now and then. But the times that he jumps on, I'm either on or I'm out. I'm out and about doing all kinds of shit. But it's he. There's a diva, and then there's Taco. And Taco can take it to some certain levels sometimes where it's just like, I don't know, I don't know, Breezy. I haven't seen you stream in a while, in a long while. So, and are we mods for you? I don't know. If we're mods for you, then we'd be able to give you an accurate assessment of this. So
ZKG confession time though.
good.
So the number one rule is that you don't ask to be a mod if you want to be a mod. That has completely not applied to me in several circumstances. Several circumstances. But hey, if you hang around long enough and people trust you and you don't fuck up, they'll let you be your mod. So hang around, don't fuck up, ask nicely, and maybe somebody will let you be a mod.
I
Okay.
really hyped myself up for the...
Sledge actually asked. Yeah, Sledge asked to be my
Scary, I
mod,
think,
and
for
he's
them.
my only mod because I can trust him 1000% with every. Like, he knows exactly when to like I said, there's only been one time where either that, you know, people got to go, bots got to go, where that one person had to go, and before I even could spit it out, guy was gone. Boom. Sledge wasn't having it. Hammer came down fast as hell, gone. Boom. And it happened kind of early on too, and it was great because then I knew for sure didn't need to have anything. I do see a lot of chests where they have like 85 mods and shit, and they're all doing all kinds of things, and it kind of it kind of throws it up in arms. But usually, if there's like one or two mods in there, it's comfortable. But then there's always when I could see it happening with like the bigger streamers, because I've seen like you can see the list, and the ones they got like that are running like 5-10K viewers, and then you see like the list of mods is like as long as the whole fucking screen, and you're like, how are they all doing this? Are they even communicating? Or just people just getting fucked with for no reason? I don't know. But
that could be a little challenging too, especially if like you have a content creator who's giving you marching orders about what they want to try and do moving forwards, and because then you gotta have a Discord to talk about it or mod chat, and there's no guarantee that everybody's gonna see it, so it can be a little challenging,
Yeah, I think here with I wish the amount of people watching would grow a little bit faster than what we've had in the past, but I think with the game going in a positive direction, we might see that build with it. I'm hoping Scopely and whatever new company that bought or whatever sees that and goes, you should market the shit out of this because it has a humongous IP attached to it. It's not like Raid Shadow Legends where they got to build up backstories and stuff for these characters. Stories are there. I would milk it. I would use every bit of marketing resource I could to blow this game up to where it's ridiculously out the water.
I absolutely think Savvy has nothing but financial motivations at mind. So yeah, I think they want this game to continue to do well. And I think a big part of the reason why we've had a lot of the recent changes is because of a lot of the backlash. Like, you've got your number one, spender in the game publicly saying why he's not going to play. And then, eventually it gets leaked about the private conversations that Scopely tried to message him to keep him in the game. Like, they've known for a long time, like, this game is about Krakens. Like, if there's not Kraken spending money, like, there's, the rest of us aren't going to be able to play for this, play this game, And so, I'm grateful for Kraken. It's like, grateful that they spend all this money and keep this game going because, again, eventually, if people stop spending money, this game is going to stop, stop existing. And I don't want it to go away. I don't think you do either, Zero. But again, at the end of the day, this game is here to make money. And if it don't make dollars, it don't make sense,
Yeah, this game could be humongous if it was put in the right hands of somebody marketing that's a really, really good marketing specialist, because it's just the IP itself, and it could be huge. But the negative stigma around this game for the last year or so probably tainted a little bit, but I think it's going in a really good direction, and I hope it gets bigger, so by the time you can get yourself acclimated and jumping on this motherfucker more regularly, we can see TDatz, and then we can jump in his chat and fuck with him even more. And hopefully your shit doesn't crash when I send you a fucking 100 people. So,
like, again, I think by the end of this year, if things are not, like, at least in the big, vast majority moving in the right direction, I think there's going to be a problem. And I think, because, again, they've all said they need 6 to 8 months to kind of lead way this stuff and kind of get this stuff planned and developed. And so, you know, we've seen a little bit of a backlash, you know, with the, okay, 5 new characters, okay, all right, great. Well, at least, you know, one of them was a rework. And is the Ghost Rider, is that going to be a rework, or is that a new character?
No, it's going to be the Robbie Reyes version. The only one that's
Okay.
reworked is Doctor Strange.
Okay. So, of course, you know, 4 as opposed to 5 is at least better, you know? And so, again, you know, I think we're moving in the right direction. I think we got to give them the benefit of the doubt. Like, let's see how things play out and give it to the end of the year. And I think we're all, again, still here playing because we enjoy the game. So, you know, let's hopefully, you know, new CC season and, you know, new, you know, cruise or a new Scourge is coming eventually. You know, let's go, guys. You know.
Yeah, seems to be working out favorably so far. So I'm gonna try to enjoy it. Hopefully, I mean I'm still enjoying it because I'm still here, but it's going in a decent direction. I think it's going a little bit better. Morale is a lot better. I'll say that. Morale is a lot better. It's not super great, but I think it's going a little bit more in there. Yeah, thank you, Fly.
Pat Daddy is back.
Pat Daddy, yeah, Pat Daddy is back. Yeah, I gotta message his happy ass, but he's usually with the family at this point, so it's like hard to get his happy ass away because he's working during the day and with the family at night. So, but is there any other questions you guys want to ask our buddy TDatz? What?
We got to get Tana into happy hour sometime.
Getting Tana into well, Tana's the time difference is the problem. That's the thing. The time difference for him out there, I think at that time he would literally either just be waking up or still sleeping.
Well, so he usually wakes up around the evening time because it's usually like 7, 8 roughly. 9.
So
so
somebody would have to tell him.
He would be afternoon drinking, absolutely.
Yeah, but he's, I don't know, that's somebody else's job to get for him. I've already tried. He's that. Nice one.
I bet Tana's a fun drunk. I bet you.
I think he could. I think he could be a good laugh, but it's just like, you know. Oh, he won't come on. Oh, Tana said he won't come on happy hour.
Oh.
Well.
Oh well.
Yeah, there's some people that like it. Some people don't. Man? All right, man. You ready for some interesting, different little questions I got? They're rapid fire questions. I just want to see what comes of it because they're just a little bit different, but you know we're still gonna use 1 or 2 of them. But the other one should be so. Don't want others to know they. Oh wow. Well. Oh Jesus.
Hi.
Jesus, Fly. Thank you, Fly. Thank you, my guy.
You the man, Fly.
Yeah. Thank you, Fly. Dude, you are amazing. Thank you, my guy. Yeah, well, Papa, he's shown up in happy hour. He hasn't shown up in to talk during happy hour. That's the thing. He showed up in the chat, but not to actually be on or even talking or even on voice. He's been on voice to chat about the game, but not about other stuff. So, yeah, I seen that. You got it before I did.
Zero, before we start, like, I was wondering if, like, people weren't paying attention, but, like, were you guys just listening? Is that why there hasn't been a lot of comments?
I mean, that's what usually happens when people listen. They're listening to what's going on. They're trying to see what you're saying. If they got a question, they ask, and if someone doesn't say it, then I'll usually pop up. But you did give a lot of good ones. So, see, she's doing homework, but she's probably planning her next, you know, chest deprecation really quick, or chest waxing.
Hit me, Zero.
Yeah. All right, 10 rapid fire questions. We'll knock this out. The first one is going to be the basic one because that's the only first one that I can think of, so we'll just use it there. We'll go with which moon bitch, moon dragon, or moonstone.
Didn't we do this last time?
Yeah, I just used this one just to start.
Okay, well, moon dragon then for balance.
Now, unsure if you know a lot about him, but we'll go based on that. Maybe you do. But big time or Weaver?
Weaver.
Oof. I don't know.
Okay, war defense.
Oh.
Okay, great. Or like Cosmic Crucible and war and raids and sure, yes. Considering he's like literally 100 stars. But okay, go ahead. Yes.
All right. Who's got the most powerful hammer? We got Thor, we got Infinity Thor, we got Mighty Thor, and we got Beta Ray Bill. Which one?
Me. My hammer. What are you talking about? Get out of here. Get the fuck out of here. It's my hammer. You haven't seen the TDatz hammer? Alright, I'll show it to you.
Yeah, we need to see the TDatz hammer. That would be rather interesting.
TBD. TBC.
You know what? The Tim Allen hammer was always good. Binford Tools is it's a good way to that. Yeah. Oh. Let's see here. Mr. Negative or Kingpin?
Oh gosh, do I have to pick one? My Mr. Negative is still sitting at 1. My Kingpin is probably at like level 40. So I'll say negative because I'm gonna get some Ultimus food. Yep. Negative. Yep.
Okay.
Yep, that's who I'm picking.
Okay. In CC, which one is more of an ass? Infinity Watch or Rebirth?
Infinity Watch or Rebirth? Rebirth.
Vol or Nova?
Vol or Nova? My Nova is stronger, so I'm gonna say Nova.
Okay. This is a very, very... I only added a few on here, but you're more than... It's... You can go ahead and answer whichever one you want. And I know I'm gonna miss a few, but I was only able to write a few because this is the only ones that came on my head. Which Spidey? Spider-Man, Spider-Woman, Miles, Symbiote Spider-Man, Scarlet Spider-Man, Ghost Spider, Spider-Punk, Big Time. Fuck, man, it could keep going.
I gotta give a big shout out to Ghost Spider. And the reason for that is because I have 2 girls and 2 boys. And of course there's now 2 Spider-Men, which is cool for boys because there's always been a Spider-Man. But now my daughters have their own Spider-Woman, a Spider-Gwen, which I think is really, really cool. And I think is a big step forwards and kind of just equalizing things. So.
Okay. Which is more of a brick wall? Red Guardian or Absorbing Man?
Which game mode?
Let's go all over.
Probably, I'm gonna say you're gonna see more Red Guardians and you'll see Absorbing Man, so I'm gonna say Red Guardian.
Alright. Best ping. AA, BB, Deathpool, or Kestrel?
AA, Black Bolt, Kestrel, or what was the last one?
Deathpool.
Deathpool, man. I've always been a huge fan of Deathpool, even before New Warriors came out. I love Deathpool. People sleep on Deathpool. I love the passive pings.
Oh,
I love it,
yep.
love it, love it. You get you a multiple man out there and shit, throw a couple 6 bonus attacks out there. Come on, man. Like, come on. How can you not?
I'm sorry, Annie Valor. I'm sorry for not putting Gambit on there, but
Archangel
I like
is
those.
trying to be Deathpool, period.
Now, if you take all 5 of them, Gambit, AA, BB, Deathpool, and Kestrel, inside of like a dark dimension, it looks funny as shit when someone dies. Especially if someone dies, they got freaking... If someone died from having a defense down, the pings go all over the place. It's just ridiculous. Alright. I'm only naming these because why not? And if I miss some of them, whatever. But best Captain America.
Now, hold on. The Gambit passive ping is only from attacking. It's not from characters dying, so it's a different kind of ping. The Gambit ping is fantastic. I give it my full stamp of approval. That is not the same thing as the other ones because all those are triggered from people dying, right?
True. We gotta attack them on this side, and then someone dies, and then boom, the pings start to hit. In one of these, something has to happen from our side to do it.
That's like asking me which kid do I love the most. I love them all the most, okay? I love Gambit. I love Deathpool, you know?
So
Okay, I'm gonna need the question again. Sorry.
best Captain America, and I'm only using whichever ones I wrote down. U.S. Agent, Cap Sam, Cap Carter, or America's Ass?
Does U.S. Agent count as a Captain America?
I mean, technically, he was for like 2 seconds.
I mean, I gotta say OG Captain America. I mean, those taunts and the safeguards and, you know, all the pings, like in, you know, with Cosmic Crucible and 6. I mean, gosh, like all the people dying and then, yeah, I mean, that's... No, OG Captain America all the way. And Captain America and the Winter Soldier is one of the very, very best Marvel movies, period.
Yes. All right. So the last and final one, which would be basically the Doom special or the Dormammu fatality, where he grabs that fool and takes him underneath. Man, it does sound like some Undertaker bullshit.
Dorm, baby. I love Dorm.
I like Dorm.
I love my Dorm. Mommy.
Dorm is a good one, man. Dorm is a real good one.
I love Dorm.
All right. Well, dude, it has been a fun part two with you and your beautiful, beautiful family that you have there. You definitely want to go check out TDatz, wherever the hell he's modding. But he does need some more followers anyway. So if you haven't already followed him, go follow his happy ass. Do you know when you're gonna stream next?
From hitting 3 from hitting 100.
There you go. He needs 3 more. Whoever's the lucky 3, do it.
Like I said, I have not felt well lately. It's close to the end of the month, so I'm gonna try and squeeze in some stream this weekend. I'm a little bit of a guerrilla streamer. I don't really plan out very far ahead when I'm doing it because I'm not really sure if I can or if I have the energy to do it. But please, you know, follow and, you know, follow those notifications. And if you can't catch me, please catch me on the VOD, guys. I appreciate all of you.
Yep. Make sure to go follow him. Make sure to go check him out. Watch something so that way we can get him pushed up even more. He's 3 away from 100, so make sure to go give him a follow. Make sure. We're just following Killshot. We're just following. That's all. Just following him. Boom, boom. But is there anything else you'd like to say to the cool people out there?
I love each and every single one of you. Be happy, be healthy, be wise, make good decisions, be kind to others, be loving to others, give people the benefit of the doubt, turn the other cheek, do your best to be the best version of you that you can possibly be.
Yes. Be the best person. Well, maybe. What do you mean meow? Ain't nobody meowing to you. Oh, shoot. Cat. But yeah, dude, it has been a nice, good blast learning more about you on the outside of it, and then learning that you mod. So, boom. Happy that we know the intricacies of modding. That it's not as difficult, but it is still difficult to captain, man. I don't know how you do it, but I just said, you know what? Not for me. I'm just gonna play and play and play and compete with myself and play. So boom.
Hug your captains. Tell them thank you.
You know what? I would hug Juicy. I would hug Juicy if I was close around. I would definitely give him a hug. He deserves a hug.
Wait, Juicy's your captain?
He's one of them. I mean, Juicy's the captain, man. We're all over the place, man. There's Juicy, and then there's like Jumander or whatever. But I mean, there's a bunch of us in there. So
you guys are the best.
Well, make sure to go check out TDatz. He will guerrilla stream whenever. I'm hoping sooner than later, but you know,
Feeling much better, guys.
Yeah,
he's stream incoming soon.
hopefully better than hopefully sooner than later. And if not, we will probably have TDatz on for part. What would be a good part? We got part 2, so what would be a good one for the third? Like, what could we say for the third? Like,
Wow.
part. Ooh, Twa? Hot seat Maja.
Third one.
Yeah, Twa. There you go. Boom.
My wife studied French. Let me ask her.
There you go. Go ahead. Get the Devil word of Twa. Whether we should. We get it.
If you guys want a third one, I'd be willing to do it. It's up to you guys.
Yeah, it's up to you. Yeah, three-peat, repeat. We'll figure it out. So.
I think we need some like and subscribes, man.
Yeah, man. Check it out. This will be up on YouTube in a little bit. We'll make sure it looks all pretty and stuff, and everything goes with it. What the fuck is he doing? No.
Cat rage.
Yeah, that cat is going nuts. But yeah, we don't want to see the hammer until part 4. Oh well, shit. If we're already getting pushed for part 4. Well, fuck. It's not even a trilogy. It's pushed even further, which is great. It's great. I like it.
We gotta start doing like a deal or something. I don't know.
Yeah, I think we gotta work out a contract or something, stipulations.
Zero, I'll be on your stream anytime you want me to. Love you, buddy.
Ooh, whenever you're around, man. All right, y'all. I'll be back and chatting a little bit, but to the next one, y'all. I'm rolling out.
Bye, chat.